and also communist Hong Kong. So I've been asked to give a little bit of my feelings about freedom. And so I'm going to read a Bible verse to start off. It's called Galatians 5:1. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by the yoke of slavery. I've traveled to 30 nations around the world in the past, say, 30 years. And everywhere I've gone, freedom is very important. And I've been able to compare the difference between different countries with freedom. I'm originally from America, but I lived in communist country, which would be communist China, communist Hong Kong, for close to 30 years, 28 years. And so I was able to really have an understanding about freedom. The thing that's very easy to understand is that when you say freedom in certain nations, that creates problems for you. That's how you know that those nations are not really respecting freedom. Freedom of speech. Most of the time in a communist nation, you can say freedom, but you can't say freedom of speech. As soon as you add on a qualifier to the word freedom, it becomes a criminal offense or something that will create a lot of problems for you personally or your family. And so freedom is a very important word. And as you travel, many of you watching this in Poland, this is being done for Poland TV. Many of you that come from those nations, they call them the Eastern Bloc nations of the former Soviet Union, you understand how important freedom is. And if it wasn't your parents, it was your grandparents or your great-grandparents who lived under a lack of freedom. So I would just say with freedom, always qualify it with the scriptures, the Bible, and how important freedom is. It's very important to know Christ and to be free in Christ. But the Bible also says that you should not be returned to the yoke of slavery. I agree with that. So if you have received freedom in your nation or some form of freedom, you've made improvement, it's very important not to go backwards and suffer the yoke of slavery again under communism, for example, or some other dictatorial government. So I would just say, having traveled and seen many different nations and how they respect freedom, freedom is a very important thing that you should strive for. Everybody should strive for. And then it's an understanding of what your knowledge is as to what the meaning of freedom is. So I would encourage everybody in Poland to continue to strive for freedom, regardless of whether you think you have it now or not. You can always make improvements. So thank you very much and look forward to talking to you again in Poland.